Today, I'm going to show you how to make this little amazing comfort bird. Super easy, and best of all, it's made out of the scraps that you already have sitting around. So it's super low cost, super easy to make, and it makes incredible gifts. All right, so for today's project, what you're going to need, something to cut with. I use my bandsaw for this. You could also use a scroll saw for the shaping. Jigsaw would be rather hard to do it. If you want to do it by hand, then you're a better man or woman than I am. You're going to need some glue, some clamps, and then you're going to need something to shape with. So I tend to use a spindle sander for most of the shaping here. Just makes a little bit quicker work of it, but you could also use a dremel. Grinder would be a little tough. This is kind of a small piece to work on. You can also do it with just a whittling knife as well, especially if you're doing this out of the scraps of the cedar fence pickets because they're super soft to work with. So to begin with, we're just going to glue some of these fence pickets together. Now, I have these, which I usually use, minimum 2" by 3" is kind of what makes my scrap pile. And then I go through it every couple of months or so and then make a bunch of these and get rid of all my scraps because they're just sitting around doing nothing. And 3 of these glued together is a perfect width for the 2 by 4" comfort bird that we're going to do today. Now, in the link in the description below, I have a download for you that has a bunch of different sizes just printed out on a regular 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. So you can do, 2 by 2, 2 by 3, 2 by 4, and then some larger sizes here and just cut them out. Hopefully it's sized correctly for you. But let's get started here. To start with, you're going to need a bunch of glue. We're going to glue these together really well. Now, these kind of have some gaps in it, but that's okay. Cedar's soft, so when we clamp them together, it's going to be 100% fine as long as you glue it well enough. So I'm going to take these. These are about 3 by 4, so I'm actually going to be able to make 2 birds out of just these 3 little scraps here. So go ahead and start gluing together. Now, what I actually like to do is I actually like to glue a whole bunch of these, right? When I'm not recording, I'll do like 20 of these together and just to prep it so I could make a bunch at once, and then I just clamp them all together in one giant row. And if you're wondering for this, I'm just using the Titebond 3. Sure, could I use Titebond 1 or 2, which are more rated for indoors? Absolutely, but Titebond 3 is what I have, so that's what I'm using. Just wiping away some excess now so it doesn't get all over the place. And now we wait. And then once that's all set, all we're going to do is we're going to cut it down to 2" by 4". But again, you can make this kind of up to your own size depending on the size of scraps you have. So once you have your chunk of wood, keep in mind if you're going to do the bigger than 2 by 4, if you're going to do like the 3 by 5 or 4 by 6, you're going to want to make this a bit thicker so that way the bird isn't too short and squatty. And the way I like to trace out the shapes here is I like to put kind of this fat piece, the overhead view, where the boards are going vertically with it, right? So when you look at the front of the bird, right, it's going to be the vertical boards that you see separate versus having it like this where you've got like the top of the bird's head, the middle, and then the belly down below. This is just the way I like to have it set up. So just take the cutouts that you have here and trace out this chunk on the top, and then make sure you have it lined up properly, this chunk on the side. All right, so now that we've got the patterns drawn out, just make sure that the fat parts of the bird line up together or it's not going to look right. And we're going to actually cut this out in 2 different pieces. Now, you can use a scroll saw for this pretty easily. Bandsaw does make really quick work of this. It's my favorite tool for it. And we're going to do this in 2 sections, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to cut out the top first, right? And then we're going to keep those sides, right? So make sure to try to make it clean cuts. Don't go destroying the whole thing while cutting it. And then we're going to tape those parts back on, and then we're going to do the side view, right? And then from there, we're going to shape it. so now I've got the two sides that are cut out, and all I'm going to do is I am going to tape these guys back together, masking tape, just make short work of it. You can use painter's tape too, and then if you do go over the bird, you know, just re-put on the template and trace them out again. Now what's nice with masking tape is you can actually see through it, but again, if you did it in pencil, just put this part back over it again, trace it out, good to go. There you go. We have our rough shape of our little comfort bird. Isn't he cute? Shaping time. I've done this every possible way that you can think of. And my favorite way to do it is with a spindle sander. This is, I think, 80 grit on there, really good for shaping. And then I'll come in with my Dremel with a sanding wheel on there, sanding pad on there, the ones that I make. And that tends to do the best, and then I'll finish it off by hand. You can absolutely take a whittling knife to this and, you know, start smoothing it out. This part of the process does take a little bit, right? Sanding wise, I probably spend almost 10 minutes on this spindle sander, shaping it slowly and just giving it, you know, the right shape to it. Dremel, what I've found is that I end up gouging in a little bit too much. Maybe you're better at the Dremel than I am. It's totally fair. So, you know, try out the different ways that, you know, you see fit. But this is how I do it. All right, and there we go, mostly shaped out. You know, I got some rough edges on there, but we're going to keep working it now with finer sandpaper, kind of get rid of all those little grooves and, you know, just all those little sharp edges. Now it's time to take those sharp edges away, and what I like to use most, and I have tried every sanding possible, is I like to make these wheels. So what I actually do is take one of the thicker sanding wheels, right? That's that little rubber washer part. And then I take that sanding wheel off and I take that little washer and then I take like 3 or 4 strips of sandpaper. Now you could use regular sandpaper too with the cardboard backing or the paper backing, but they do wear out really quick. I got this set off of Amazon. I don't know how much it was. It wasn't very expensive, but this goes all the way up to 600 grit here. I'll have a link in the description below again. And then I cut off, these have the canvas backing to them, you know, so they're just a lot more durable. So I can get, you know, several uses out of this versus just one use out of the one made with the paper backing. And they're as cheap as you could possibly get. Just cut a few strips, punch a hole through them, you know, stick 2 of them facing forward, right? And then one of them facing backwards, so you can kind of get into nooksy little crannies and stuff like that. And yeah, this is my favorite sanding wheel. And this is actually the 600 grit, but man, these things move so fast that the higher grit is completely fine. It still works away enough of the material, so you're not sitting there all day sanding. All right, there we go. And I've got rid of 85–90% of any sharp lines. And that's really my goal during this sanding part, is to just get rid of any, you know, lines. There's still going to be a few kind of parts that need to be smoothed off a little bit, but I always do finish this by hand. And then this is just the 600 grit sandpaper, and just time to go over it by hand. There's no avoiding it. All right, there we go. He's all shaped up, ready to go and ready for tongue oil. And it's pretty much all I use for finishing on stuff. And then I'm going to put a hook in the top, and he's going to be a beautiful little ornament for somebody. I just love how the tongue oil kind of pulls out all the natural tones of the wood. And these things look really pretty, like doing them with maple or walnut. You know, just be mindful of how you lay out the different layers of one of these birds. And now, since this is going to be turning into an ornament for somebody, I take the smallest little drill bit, I think this is 1/16 of an inch, and just kind of put it a little back from center of the top of his head so it's kind of balanced out. So then once you got that little tiny hole drilled, I take these, again, I'll have a link in the description below, they're little like eye hooks. Right? They're tiny guys. They're like 1 inch or so, super narrow. And then I actually take this and I actually bend one of these in half a little bit so it can create some pressure on the inside of the hole. Take this and just bend it, right? So that way you've got a little bit of a thicker section at the bottom of it. Sorry if that's hard to see. Just like that. So that way now when you stick it in the hole, there's a little bit of resistance there. And so I just put a little bit of glue on the end of this, stick that in there, and it'll stay just fine. All right, there you have it. And then all I have here is these little fancy hooks. But you could use any ornament hooks there. There you go. So not only are these great for using up scraps, because I know we all need more projects to make out of our scrap pieces. We all have scrap piles sitting around. They make really, really good gifts, you know. I don't know about you guys, but as I get older, I have everything that I need. So getting something from somebody that they built that means something is something I'm going to keep around absolutely forever. And actually, with every birdhouse that I make, I give one of these away and kind of stick it inside there in the little back door. And it just makes for a nice little surprise. The cost is super low. You know, I can bust these out in it takes about 15 minutes a piece. So these are not good money makers, really, if you're wondering, you know. If you just sell them, maybe $10 a piece, but like I said, you know, they're not great money makers, but they're really fun, great keepsakes for people. And if you do want to see one of the funnest birdhouses I build, check out this video. It's one of my favorites.